You know, when one thinks of the metal god Rob Halford, the thing that immediately comes to mind is the leather and the motorcycle and the concerts with Judas Priest, very specifically this time in Japan, taking off their 1979. They released the legendary Unleashed in the East. And then they decide in 2005, 20 years ago, yun dun dun. Hello and welcome to Priest live in Japan. As we headed over to play the Japanese dates on our Angel of Retribution World Tour, we recalled metal memories of our performances there over the decades. We have been making live metal in the land of the rising sun since the mid 70s, and here we were again in 2005 about to embark on another highly anticipated set of shows throughout the country. As you hardcore fans are aware, the all-time favorite live classic Unleashed in the East was captured during the 1979 tour of Japan, and so with that event in mind and the fact that we are celebrating more than 30 years of Judas Priest, we wanted to record and film this very special occasion. The Budokan in Tokyo is chosen for lots of reasons, but mainly because it represents the combined essence of our Priest fans throughout the world. As you will see here, and what we all experienced was a night to remember and treasure forever. And this night, like so many others around the world, reflect the incredible love and support you continue to give us. You keep us alive with your metal faith and encourage us in Priest to keep making metal. Thanks again to you, our fans worldwide, and to everyone associated with Judas Priest for making 2005 such a spectacular year. Rob Halford vocals, Glenn Tipton guitars, KK Downing guitars, Ian Hill bass, and Scott Travis on drums. And we've got a cornucopia of tracks being performed. Starting off with our one of the greatest opening songs, the Hellion / Electric Eye, the duo, Mental Gods, Riding on the Wind, The Ripper, A Touch of Evil, Judas Rising, Revolution, Hot Rockin', Breaking the Law, I'm a Rocker, Diamonds and Rust, Worth Fighting For, Deal with the Devil, Beyond the Realms of Death, Terrible Lover, Hell Rider, Victim of Changes, Exciter, Painkiller, Hellbent for Leather, Living After Midnight, and you got another thing coming at 120 minutes. There's a lot of stuff packed into this, as you could tell. And yeah, this is when the band reunited after growing tensions that were going on because two individuals who had problems that needed to be addressed. They committed suicide and they blamed the music rather than actually getting them the help that they needed, which sadly this type of crap still exists to this day. And along with Rob's busted nose and just the general wear and tear of the court case, so okay, he went on his own solo tour with Two, Fight, and then Halford, which was a better band name than the number 2 WO. Reunited 2003, and eventually released the overall really good Angel of Retribution album, minus that 13-minute god-awful song Loch Ness. And this and that album is represented rather well, I have to admit. I mean, Judas Rising, Revolution, Deal with the Devil, Hell Rider. I know there was another one on here. I think it was like they did for at least half the gosh darn album on here. Worth Fighting For. It's actually good. And one of the tropes is whenever a band introduces a new song, most of the people go to the bathroom. No, the Japanese fans just sat down. So, yeah, Hellion Electric Eye, perfect way to open it. Metal Gods, it's like you want something that's either very fast and frantic or something that'll, get the fans going with something straightforward and easy. Riding on the Wind is the fast number from Screaming for Vengeance for the drums and the screaming guitars and fast-paced vocals, Then you get into the Ripper, which, it kind of deals with Jack the Ripper, or what was it? Heel Spring Jack or something like that, who murdered some English prostitutes. You still get the kind of like English melodrama stuff going on, which is pretty cool. Judas Rising, which is a gosh darn good album opener. Good, good showcasing Rob's vocals, but you know, we still get a nice guitar solo going on. Definitely good. Revolution sounds like a lot like Mountain Song by Jane's Addiction. One's pretty good. More vocalish related, I guess. Hot Rockin' is kind of goofy. It's from what was that, Desert Plains, and check out that check out that music video. It is 1980s cheese at its finest. It's a good quick number that the fans love. Breaking the Law, don't need to hear that again. It's just one of the hits that are played. I'm a Rocker, you know, it's like that one's that one's pretty good. Yeah, more sing-song anthemy. Diamonds and Rust is handled beautifully. I would say even better. And then on Live Vengeance 82, you got the Fog Machine, you got the cell phones over there for lighters. Worth Fighting For, kind of a throwaway track. It's all right. Deal with the Devil is meant to recapture the Painkiller sound. Done really well, and you just air guitar and headbanging Beyond the Realms of Death. Sensational, truly sensational. Definitely one of the highlights on here. Just the build up now just ascends and ascends until it just hits the crescendo. Turbo Lover, funny. You know, it's a song about car sex. That's what Rob said in his autobiography, Confess. Hell Rider is good. It's kind of, some would say, it's maybe a little too long, but you know, it's got some nice guitar work. Victim of Changes, oh, so amazing. It's the most gothic, progressive, beautiful song they ever created. I'm just like, this is the stuff I want to hear. And you know, it's like, or I was in his mid 50s when this came out. I was like, you know, you could still hit the high notes, but not as crystal clear as in the other three or four live releases. Cider has 3 guitar solos in that. And man, when that song got released, and what was that, the Stained Class album or something, and it just still rips to this day. Painkiller is effing legendary. It's like god damn. It just kicks butt. And you know, it's like you could still hit those high notes, A sharp or whatever. It still mostly rather well. The thing is, like, after this, it started going downhill. Hellbent for Leather with the Motorcycle, oh, pure metallic joy right there. Living After Midnight, crowd sings along, and You've Got Another Thing Coming, which it's a good way to end it. I guess those 2 songs are a good way to end the show, so yeah. The camera, so yeah, it's like, most, like, all the songs are represented well. I probably would have gotten rid of maybe, I don't know, Worth Fighting For, put on Center. That's really the only change I would have done. Camera angles are mostly fine. It's not like constant jump cuts, but I know so there were some. It's like, okay, it's 2000s. It's like people still have attention spans, but it wasn't like zooming in all the way. You know, you get some audience shot, wide shot, and then back to Rob. I'm like, well, it's not the worst, but it was annoying. And then we get a split screen of, say, KK and then Rob, and it's like, yeah, this is when they're trying to be experimental and stuff like that, and they do that a lot. So the camera was not super bad, but it was still annoying though. So kinda had a problem with that. And there were no extras on here. I'm like, even one of the freaking Deicide DVDs, Death Metal, by the way, at least had one extra. There's nothing here. They could have had the band just say, hey, we enjoyed this concert, and like, here's what we think about, what was that album, Unleashed in the East. Do a little retrospective, 10 minutes, just to at least give something. So, I don't know. Other than that, this is definitely a really, gosh darn enjoyable DVD. You know, it's like, you know, you got all the hits, you got them all, proving that metal music has always been rebellious. You know, I've always been a rebellious mother effer. Even when I went and saw the Priest in, what was that, 2015, they were supposed to tour with Sax, and for whatever reason they couldn't. So instead, the Riff got some local sucky band called Pop Evil to open, and I was bored out of my mind. I'm like, this is pathetic. Get a traditional heavy metal band to open for Judas Priest, not a sucky local band. and I heard one of their songs now. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. But then I'm like, these guys suck. I was thinking, get off the bloody stage. I was almost ready to say that. So, anyway, yeah. We run a great concert, lots of hits, goes through the entire catalog. Judas Priest, Rising in the East. Rock on.